Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. So, here we go. Yesterday we were trading, at least Bitcoin was trading at 28,500 per coin. And guys, as you probably have all witnessed, your portfolios have gone down because Bitcoin, the king crypto, has gone down around with it. It was kind of funny when I opened this morning and saw that $28,500 price that I know I posted that label on yesterday's video. And my, oh my, how far we have come down. Right now, Bitcoin trading at $26,400. And it looks like we are, in fact, finding support down in around here. So what happened, guys? We are going to get to this. Are we going to move lower? Are there going to be more buying opportunities, or is this it? Are we going to move up from this point forward? All questions we're going to examine in this video today, guys. So right off the bat, I can see Bitcoin making what is looking like that inverted head and shoulders pattern. So, you know, even just within the shorter to medium time frame, we are looking like, or rather it is looking like we may rebound to the upside. You guys can see a lot of tall volume bars here when we did witness this event. Crypto sentiment has gone down significantly since yesterday. What was it yesterday I was talking about? I think it was somewhere in the 50s. I think it was 57. What we can all, I guess, come to the conclusion we probably are in agreement is that the market is down and sentiment is low. We're seeing fear and greed index hovering around 47. All right, so 47, not 57. And take a look at today, only 24 hours later. Now we are at 37 for the fear and greed index. Over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin is down 7.2%. We got Ethereum down 5.7%. We got BNB coin down 5.2%. XRP got pummeled 13.7%. We're going to discuss the reasons why in a second. Cardano's down 4.1%. Solana's down 4.5%. We got Dogecoin down 6%. So pretty much a sea of red, continuing that negative momentum to the downside. But guys, all these cryptos are being influenced by the king crypto Bitcoin. So market cap right now, it's down quite a bit. We lost almost $1 billion in the crypto market cap, 1.06 trillion right now. And 24-hour trading volume is up 98.86%. So trading volume is up. Obviously, that includes buying and selling. Bitcoin dominance, though, down slightly, but not by much. So that's a good indication, right? Everything is moving in tandem, altcoins and Bitcoin. So what's going on here? Credible Crypto posting this literally took more liquidations than we got during the FTX collapse to flush us this low, and we couldn't even break HTF bullish market structure. So guys, that is a positive sign. Bitcoin did not go below 26,000 on most spot exchanges, went lower on perps and leverage products because of the liquidations. Right inside HTF demand now, send it to new highs. So guys, check this out. If we just take a look at Bitcoin on the daily chart, we didn't even make new lows here. Local bullish MS invalidation did not break through this initial low that we saw. And if I bring up the chart here, I've got Bitcoin here. Let me throw it on the daily. And let me throw that on auto, and let me get rid of some of this stuff here. You guys can see we did not, in fact, break through this low here from back in June, okay? So it was just June. June, guys, that's only a couple of months ago where we were trading at around $24,000 in Bitcoin. Although it did have a very steep negative day, we did not get below this. So all things considered, I know your portfolio is probably hurting, but guys, we're still actually in bullish territory here. So how likely is this going to stay this way? Could we, in fact, break lower? Well, that's going to be a question that we're going to be examining here. And also for my patrons, guys, I know I've said that I'm going to put up some updates. The market kind of threw me for a loop, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to get around to it today, but over the weekend, I tend to keep the weekends generally light, considering I do work 7 days a week for Working Money channel. But I'm going to see this weekend if I can pop something up there for my patrons, patreon.com/Working Money channel, because now levels are lower and now could be an opportunity for cost averaging down some of your cryptos. Crypto Insight UK here posting this. Tons of bearish sentiment out there right now because Bitcoin has broken the trend line. So he's looking at something a little different here, the trend line. I don't like to, generally just go by one indicator. So me personally, I like to take a look at the lows. But this is an indicator that we should take into consideration at least a little bit. So tons of bearish sentiment out there because of this. However, the last time we were in a similar position to this on the RSI, BTC bounced on the 200 SMA and rallied 47% in 12 days. So that is the other thing that I wanted to mention here. A lot of volatile activity can sometimes lead to a big bullish push to the upside in a very, very short time period. I'm going to bring up XRP just to show you guys what I mean here. Now, first of all, let's just kind of gather our thoughts and prayers for the XRP cryptocurrency. We did wick down past the initial price that we saw before the Judge Torres verdict on XRP only one short month ago, just over a month. You know, the verdict that took us up to 94 cents per XRP, and we were hoping that we were going to hold this support here. Of course, we did not hold that support at all, and XRP did break down bearish. However, we did wick up quite significantly, so we did see a huge rebound up. If I throw it on the hourly, let's just take a look at what the hourly shows us. So now, guys, we're finding support in and around 50 cents. Hoping we can step up, get back up here, but guys, it's going to be a trial. And, you know, like I said in yesterday's video, the market is just moving with Bitcoin at this moment in time. So, you know, it's because we saw a lot of this bullish activity earlier on last month that XRP had a lot of money poured into it, which obviously means that when the market turns, we see more losses. So, you know, more money into this particular cryptocurrency, more losses can occur, and more losses did occur in this particular case. So me personally, I'm not worried, and nor do I think anybody really should be. I mean, ultimately, Bitcoin is still maintaining its structure. Gareth Soloway here also posting this. Bitcoin flushed through 28,000 with so little volume stops. Triggering can cause an outsized move or a flash crash. Rumors that SpaceX dumped its holdings, that was unconfirmed, exacerbated the selling and increased the dump. With so few buyers available, SpaceX did write down some of their Bitcoin holdings due to losses. Companies do this all the time with their assets. So really what he's talking about here is this news story that came out, but a lot are saying now that it is fake news. SpaceX wrote down $373 million worth of Bitcoin acquired in 21 and 22. Elon Musk announced in 2021 that SpaceX had some Bitcoin holdings following an SEC filing showing Tesla planned to purchase $1.5 billion worth of the cryptocurrency. And so what do we have here? Aerospace technology firm SpaceX reportedly wrote down the value of its Bitcoin. So according to an August 17th report in the Wall Street Journal, SpaceX recorded $373 million worth of Bitcoin holdings on its balance sheet. And so, you know, this has gotten people a little worried. SpaceX wrote down the valuation of Bitcoin it owned by a total of $373 million last year and in 2021, and has sold the cryptocurrency, reported the Wall Street Journal. The news outlet reportedly viewed documents on the firm's financials showing roughly $5.2 billion in total expenses for 2022 and $5.4 billion in 2021 and 2022 for acquiring property and equipment, in addition to research and development costs. They also mentioned down here that a lot of that acquisition had to do, or rather contributed, to Bitcoin hitting then all-time high price of more than $43,000. And then down here, according to Tesla's second quarter 2023 earnings report, the firm had sold all but 184 million only worth of its Bitcoin holdings. So, you know, the negative news here bringing Bitcoin down. However, I don't know how legit this is. Technically, the $28,000 level has been broken. So back to Gareth Soloway's tweet here. It has 24 hours to regain that level, or probabilities greatly increase that it is heading to $25,000. So let's just bring up the Bitcoin chart once again. Right now, again, as I said, we are at $26,000. We throw it on the even 30-minute would be a good time frame right now to be taking a look at, because we can see that basing. Whoops, we can see that basing down in here. We just bring it. Whoops, what am I doing here? Take it off auto. Or wait, what am I doing here? Okay, throw it on auto. We can see $26,000 here. So 28 has been broken. He says Bitcoin at 25,000 is going to be an epic level psychologically. This is where news hit that BlackRock was filing for a spot Bitcoin ETF. The run from 25,000 to 31,000 was largely a result of the optimism of the approval. So, you know, based on the news that we heard about Bitcoin over the last month or so, this is how we got up so high. So bringing it back on the just back on the daily for a second here, 25,000 as he says, all the way up to 31,000, give or take. This was based on the BlackRock news. So, you know, losing that now, you know, because it was just basically by and large the news that specifically pumped the coin, that is why we're seeing, you know, 25 being that psychological level. And should it break, $20,000 becomes the next stop, which was the former all-time high in the bull run of 2017. This is a key level because it represents a point where SVB, Silicon Valley Bank, and other regional banks failed. Money ran from banks and hid in Bitcoin. Should 20,000 fail though, guys, then we're retesting 15,700. And then 12,000 to 13,000 is still very much on the table as a lower target, as is 9 to 10. That would be max pain. As each level is broken, the next level becomes magnetic. My thesis for why Bitcoin could hit 9 to 10,000 is an overall risk asset sell-off in which the NASDAQ dumps to October 2022 lows or below. So looking at the macro picture as well, the NASDAQ here, guys, that could also play a big role in what is going on. Let's just bring up the stock market. And this is the index for a lot of the technical stocks that we see in the stock market. NASDAQ did double bottom here, and it is trading fairly low. We still have a lot of work to do to get up back to these highs for the NASDAQ. So again, looking at that macro picture as well, remember that most Bitcoin influencers have only been around for a cycle or two. You do not master price action charts and human psychology in a cycle or two of Bitcoin. You are a toddler when it comes to understanding investment. Okay, so the condescending little bit here. I think what we can glean from this is that Gareth Selloway isn't committing to his prediction here. I mean, ultimately though, guys, this is ever in flux, and this is why, I say to my patrons, the market is organic. Anything can happen at any time, and this is why, guys, I am keeping it so affordable, $5 a month, because I want you guys to stick with me month after month, because anything could change, poof, on a dime. What else do we have, guys, from Immortal here on Twitter? What happened in crypto over the last 24 hours, in case you were living under a rock? So Bitcoin dumped, we got the official numbers here, 9% in about 4 minutes only. 2 negative news rounds at the moment. So we heard about SpaceX, but also, guys, there's the Evergrande bankruptcy. Yes, China's property giant Evergrande files for bankruptcy protection in a Manhattan court. And I'm just going to go over some of the key points here. China's heavily indebted property developer Evergrande Group on Thursday filed for Chapter 15 bankruptcy protection in a U.S. bankruptcy court. In a filing to the Manhattan Bankruptcy Court, the firm sought recognition of restructuring talks underway in Hong Kong, the Cayman Islands, and the British Virgin Islands. The world's most indebted property developer defaulted in 2021 and announced an offshore debt restructuring program in March. I don't know if you guys remember 2021 when we got that Evergrande story. Anyway, I'm going to link this in the description of the video if you guys want to watch, or rather if you want to read the full article. But guys, this has also put pressure on U.S. stock markets, and I'm assuming, I haven't taken a look, but I'm assuming global stock markets too. Look at that. The S&P 500 was also down over the last couple of days along with crypto. So guys, this is a bigger market move. The source of the second news is from the Wall Street Journal, he says down here, in which they describe what SpaceX did. So again, just talking a little bit about SpaceX, which I've already covered. A few minutes after the crash, we got another headline. SEC set to greenlight ETH futures ETF. This does not mean that it is approved. It means that it is very likely that they will not block, though, the approval. It is not very relevant since BTC and ETF futures, since BTC has ETF futures since 2021 as well. So in and amongst all this, the SEC is saying, okay, we're going to go ahead with the Ethereum futures. ETH completely recovered the dip after the futures ETF news. So you guys can see, despite the market downturn, Ethereum actually came out to be a bit of a winner here. Let's just bring up Ethereum on the chart. I don't know though if it actually recovered fully. Let's just take a look here. So the daily Ethereum did wick down. No, it did not recover fully, although it did recover significantly. But the good news just wasn't enough, really, to bring it back up to pre-dump levels. Some extra data about the Bitcoin crash: 855 million liquidated from the crypto market in the past hour. Open interest nuked around June levels. Now, we got to put things into perspective. I know we feel like, we've made a lot of progress, but guys, we're basically just at June levels. Like that tweet says, the last time we saw these prices was right back in here. And guys, that was June 18th. June 18th, 2023, as you guys can see down there. So only 2 months, guys. We gained and then decreased. Really, though, what we have to be paying attention to, the main focus is getting below this level here now, 24,700. If we go below that, that is going to mean something different for crypto. So just overall, crypto traders suffer $1 billion in liquidations in sharp sell-off over Bitcoin and Ethereum. Just a general kind of article here. Some 821 million in long positions. Traders who bet on prices to rise were wiped out during the rush to the exits. CoinGlass shows Bitcoin traders took the brunt of the losses, enduring $472 million of long liquidations, followed by Ethereum with $302 million. And again, they're bringing up historic dates. You guys can see the total liquidations here, almost $1 billion in liquidations. So what can we glean from this? Are we out of the woods? Are we going to see a broader crash? Well, let's not forget what happened last week. Nick here on Twitter posting this. All right, so let's analyze what happened this week. Michael Burry, sorry, this was earlier this week. I keep forgetting it's Friday today. Michael Burry, he posted a short position, a $1.6 billion short position, getting spread around like it's the end of the world. Fake news spreading about how all ETFs are delayed until 2024. Then we've got mainstream media touting the Bitcoin halving and mentioning this is when ETFs will be approved. So, we've got to pay attention to what the news is saying because this is ultimately going to cause the market to adjust. Crypto market flush begins while everyone flips bearish and pessimism floods crypto Twitter. Yeah, I think we're going to go higher in the coming weeks. So Nick here with an optimistic look. And, to be honest, I think too we are going to go higher. I don't know if we're really going to break this. But again, were we expecting this big flush out? This is why we got to keep tabs on this thing. It is an ever-moving target. And again, guys, I'm going to try for my patrons, going to try to get you guys an update on some of those alternative cryptocurrencies that I've been talking about and cost averaging in. If you guys are still looking for some alternative positions, if you do have some money on the side. Blockchain Backer here also posting this. I've been looking for examples of where we've seen this kind of liquidation sell-off, specifically looking at things like the beer flu crash, the SEC lawsuit, and the FTX collapse. That 5 minutes of chaos was more aggressive than any moment in the history or recent history of crypto with regards to the beer flu, the SEC lawsuit, or the FTX crash. So just to put things into perspective here, let me bring up XRP again, guys, for you. Okay, and let's remember FTX, that happened over here. Now he's talking about volume, so not necessarily price. This was in fact less. The SEC lawsuit, this was also less. And then the beer flu, which shut down the economy, which was around here, this was also less. Okay, than what we saw today. And I know it doesn't feel like it is because price-wise, it's really not, but liquidation and sell-off. The most in such a short amount of time. Crypto Insight UK saying, but with less volume, no one buying, just selling. Julian Williams here saying, I've long thought BTC and ETH are the Achilles heel of crypto. Utility crypto stand between the criminals and the legacy banking corps and the criminals of legacy crypto. Both legacy banking and legacy crypto are more interested in keeping their money-making machines alive, but not in building enterprises that serve their customers. So, guys, this is going to be a very, very, very different landscape moving into the era of regulation. And so, in a way, it's a good sign that crypto is moving in such a volatile way. We know that regulation isn't fully in and that crypto isn't fully regulated. So the positive news, there is still time, I think, to make some real serious money in this crypto bull run. A few more things I wanted to mention just with regards to the Ripple SEC lawsuit. Today, Judge Torres granted the SEC's request to file a motion to leave an interlocutory appeal in the Ripple case. So they are granted the opportunity now to file the motion. This doesn't mean that they have or not. They have up until August 18th to file. So this one courtesy of Eleanor Turret here. Also, just with regards to this, Ripple Labs bites back against the SEC's request to file an appeal. So we're still getting a bit of a war in the courts between the SEC and Ripple. In an August 16th letter to Torres, Ripple's lawyers explain that because the SEC failed to satisfy elements of the Howey test relating to Ripple's distribution of a legal question, the court should reject the SEC's motion for leave to file an interlocutory appeal. But as you guys can see here, they were granted. So, it's just another day in the life of an XRP holder, following this court case, and it's still going on, unfortunately. But I thought I'd bring that to you just because it is making news despite what the crypto market is doing here. One other thing that I wanted to bring up to you guys was this Charlie Ward, and whether you love him or whether you hate him, he said this on June 16th, 2022, posted by XRP VRA here. Charlie Ward, always well ahead of schedule. Listen to what Charlie Ward had to say on his weekly show, The Insiders Club. Listen to this.
All right, what's your thoughts there on all of that?
Well, first of all, if we start with a factual thing, which is Evergrande is being delisted today, the 16th of June, 2022.
Wow.
Now, Evergrande is the owner of 90%. 90%. Let that sink in. 90% of the Chinese housing market.
Wow.
And it's going to be delisted. And you don't think that's going to make a difference? Well, from the stock exchange, this is where your global housing market will crash. And it won't just dip a bit, it will crash. So sit back and enjoy the show. I mean, it's going to crash through the floor.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. There's about another minute to this clip, and I will link it in the description if you guys want to watch the full thing. Ultimately, though, Charlie Ward predicting the Evergrande story about 2 months ago, and now, of course, Evergrande has filed for bankruptcy, which has caused this cascading effect, or at least it has been one of the elements that has contributed to this. So wanted to thank XRP VRA here on Twitter for posting this. But guys, the silver lining, there's always a silver lining. We know this is just a blip on the radar, a flash in the pan, because ultimately the crypto market is for institutions. Real money's going to be piling into this thing. We do need to wait for regulatory clarity though, so it is a double-edged sword, right? The spec market right now trading without regulatory clarity, a good time for us retail traders to make some good money, but the real money is really going to pour in. It might be a slower and steady market down the road in the coming years over the next decade or two. Well, I'll let Boris Alajan here explain it to you guys. An employee of Ripple explaining the crypto market in a nutshell and the kind of money, guys, that we're going to see eventually.
A good example of a product is one that actually gets these institutions in there, right? That, retail crypto is what? 1 trillion, 2 trillion right now in market cap. The global financial world, FX trades $5 trillion a day, right? Just to put that into perspective. So we are so early and it's so small that we really need to bring crypto and blockchain to the next level is getting those institutions in. And it's really solving a lot of those issues that they have around compliance. How do you get comfortable as an institution to interact with these assets, with this technology in a way that doesn't get you in trouble?
Well, certainly regulatory clarity would help a lot in the U.S.
It certainly would, guys. $1 trillion, $2 trillion right now. That is nothing for cryptocurrency. We have seen that number shrink, but guys, it's only going to be short term before the real money starts pouring in. But that's just my opinion. I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.